Hello, good afternoon. So, I'm calling it a day. I mostly did cleanup in the shop today and got a little bit started on the dump box for my F350. So I'll just show you my toolboxes real quick and a couple of tools we got here. I made this to set the transmission on so I could kind of break it down and swap parts. Nice little table here. Got a kind of a recessed area, like having these blocks to kind of set oil pans in, kind of get things even, pry sides up. It's kind of nice having that. Keep all your bolts and whatnot in here. And got it right next to our fancy new parts washer, which I'm pretty sure has not been used at all. But we're getting there. So we'll be doing lots of small engines here. We'll be breaking those down and rebuilding them. I work in masonry primarily. That's what I spent most of my life doing. I've done quite a bit of other stuff, but in the masonry trade, we go through lots of little Honda motors. They suck up that dust and they don't last too long. So we're trying to save a couple bucks. This is the my welding toolbox, and I got it next to the lathe here. This is one of the other guy's toolboxes, and this is my little ghetto setup we got here for a handful of my tools. Got our fluid station and just all kinds of stuff. This is a pretty cool shop. It'd be nice if we had a little bit more space and some more tools, but we're actually just setting this up. This is my first year in here. I've only been really working in here for a couple months now, and I think he's only had it really built for the last year. Maybe 2-3 years maybe now. But we're masonry primarily. We use lots of these telehandlers. I don't know, we got maybe 10 of them. And yeah, got a lot of work there. So I'm starting on the dump box for this truck. And got the orangutans over there. And I'm just kind of playing this by ear, just kind of flying by the seat of my pants on this. So I've got an idea what I want to do. I want to try to avoid using U-bolts just because they're kind of expensive and I don't really like them. And so I've got a plan here, which I might weld some bolts onto the inside of these tubes, and I'm going to put a piece of probably mud flap in between these points here. I'm going to have another there and there, and sandwich mud flap in there, and have plates coming down on the sides here. So we'll have this capped off for a little bit of added strength and just keep corrosion down. Weld a bolt, top of a bolt down on the inside of there. Hey, how about you two go over there? Go over there. Hey, go. So we'll have it sandwiched. Stay over there. And we'll have plates coming down the side here to have it bolted two different ways, because this is going to be the point which is going to kind of lift. And I want that on there pretty good. And I want this to be as rigid as possible. This is going to be the first platform, and then I'm going to have the pivot point back here, and I'm going to have a 2 or 3 stage ram up here. Then that'll lift up, and I want this really, really rigid, so I'm going to have this fastened at a bunch of different points here, sandwiched together, and also for additional strength bolted on the side of the frame. I think that's more than enough. I'm not going to be overloading this too much, and I'm not selling this truck. I'm keeping this truck. So here are the other spacers. I gotta weld a piece of 1/4 inch flat stock in there to get that at the right height. These will also have some bolts coming through the bottom of them, and everything will get welded across the top here. I'm going to have 2 pieces of this 2x4 by 1/4 inch. That's 3x4 by 1/4 inch, and this is 2x2 by 1/4. And well, I won't get too crazy about what I'm doing. You'll see as I go. This is, like I say, just getting a few things going. So, ooh, that's a little warm. So we're doing a little bit of, just the fundamentals here. Getting these beveled and capped. Really boring stuff, but this is, the reason I'm beveling this, it's not necessary for strength. I'm not doing this for penetration. I'm just doing this so that when I come along and lay my bead down in there, it's not going to sit up so high, so I don't have to grind a lot down, because I'm still going to end up welding a piece of flat stock on top of this to get my proper height from one end to the other. And I'll probably touch it up with the grinder a little bit, but this way I don't have a huge mound, 3/16 of weld I got to grind down. It'll sit pretty well flat in there. And if you've done much work with HSS, hollow structural steel, you'll know about your seams. It's something not a lot of people pay attention to. I even forget from time to time. But you always got to take into consideration, you're not going to want to drill through that. And let's say you're building, I used to build drilling rigs and all that. You can't really tell with as rusted as this material is, but you'll be able to really notice the seam on new material. So if this is going in for paint and they're not doing a real great job of sandblasting this stuff, and they're not putting ton of primer down, I've seen, well, they've even got paint now that's coming out that's it's primerless, so it's just one coat. You can see right through it. You can see all the mill identification. You can see, and they don't even hardly blast the mill scale off, and it's a sad shape. Things. These are even precision drilling rigs and Saxon drilling rigs. This stuff's going out, and they're hardly even putting any paint on it. Not even really blasting it. It's pretty pathetic. But anyway, so with with your seams, just pay attention to that, because you'll see it right through the paint. And you say you're building a table or something like that, and you got one seam on this side, and one seam on that side. It all just looks like trash if you don't pay attention to that. You want to put that, put your seam on the inside where it's not going to be seen. And also, like I say, pay attention to if you're drilling. You don't want to be drilling through that garbage either. Yeah, that's probably it for today. I don't think I got a whole heck of a lot else going on. I got the hitch there, kind of just an old piece of junk I had laying in the pile that I'm going to repurpose and do an extra little collar around the edge here, give it some more strength. And yeah, we'll make another video once I actually make some progress on this.